Hello and welcome to an episode of Ashley Does Things. Today I'm going to be showing you how to air layer plants. This is probably one of my most requested videos I have right now, so I am very excited to show you how to do this, and then also at the end of the video I'll be showing you how much it has helped my own plants. I honestly believe this to be the superior way of propagating anything. You will be hard pressed to find any sort of a significantly rare houseplant with a price tag of over $700 or maybe $600, $700 that is not air layering the plant you're buying from them. And that's because with these really rare plants, you don't want to even risk the chance of them dying. So what air layering does is it literally forms an entire root system around the spot where the node is, so that once you cut it, it already has a pretty substantial root system, or at least a start for you to put into moss. But as long as you have at least an inch of some aerial roots, depending on what size the plant is, if it's a small like Bromark's Fantasy, you probably just need like about a centimeter, enough that you could put it into moss or perlite and that would just take off. Before we get started, please make sure you hit like and subscribe. Maybe you've been binge watching my videos and you just forgot to hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the community. I also have YouTube memberships, which you can check out at the link in the description. But other than that, let's just jump into today's video. So right here, I have my bowl of water, which I'm gonna be putting the moss into. This is the moss that I use. It's not the most high grade moss. I recommend the orange brand that you see on Amazon. You're also gonna need some saran wrap and something to tie the saran wrap with just to keep it extra tight, or tape. I haven't decided what I'm going to use yet. Here's a plant that I was air layering. This is my Monstera albo, and I was keeping this right by my window, and then tragedy struck, and one night I completely forgot to freaking move it away from the window, and it got cold damage, which really sucked. Cut it down to try to save it and keep this plant safe. And you can kind of see that right around here, actually, I've just grouped some moss up around the sides, and it's actually been doing a pretty decent job. It was doing even better before I cold damaged all of the roots that I had worked so hard to grow. So we're gonna be re-air layering this, and also we're actually gonna be checking the plant because this still has yet to give me any new growth, and I bought this last year. So I wanna make sure it's not a spent node that I purchased on accident, because I didn't know about spent nodes at the time. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get to making our moss. I'm sure it's all broken up. Moss always irritates my hands. I don't know why. There's some really nice moss brands out there that you can get. Long fiber moss is usually what people like the most. Adding it until all the water is gone and the moss is pretty saturated. How's your day? You doing good? I'm doing good. I guess I'll just throw this in here. I am gonna be starting to post videos on my second channel. It's called All About Ashley. You can find it at the link youtube.com/allaboutAshley. And I'm gonna be posting weekly or bi-weekly there. I also do streams there, but that doesn't exactly count for like content that you guys probably wanna see too much. I also don't think we'll be even using all this moss, so just a little bit more, and then we will call it good. Here's our big old bowl of moss. Now what we're gonna do is, before we actually start putting it on the plant, hi Raven, you want to smell the moss? I'm just gonna wipe my hands off because I hate the feeling of just like moss. So I have my trash can in front of me. We're just gonna go ahead and start taking off some of this old moss. This plant came to me in moss, so I've just been upgrading it to different types and adding more of it. The roots are pretty incredible. Yeah, and I can see where it would too, but it's almost like it hardened over or something. So we are just gonna completely unpot this as best as we can and take a look at the roots. Doesn't look too hot, I'll be honest. I do keep this plant completely in moss. Here's our root system. And the roots just look dry. But it also needed to be watered, like I watered this today. I don't know how we're gonna separate this because this has like worked itself into the plant completely. It almost looks like it's dead. Let me see if I can show you this. It's like barked over. You see that? It's like green on the other side. Like, see, it's like fine, but it's like the whole top part like barked itself over. I'm definitely gonna be removing this because that doesn't make me feel good. Here is the chunk of moss that it originally came in, and you can see I've supplemented it with some of this sphagnum. You just really want to try to not to totally destroy the root system, you know what I mean? Okay, so we got it separated. Here we have, there's probably a little bit more root system, but here we have our root system for this Botanicus albo that I got. And here you can really see it's like barking over, which is weird. So it looks like he's trying to come out. Like it's definitely risen a ton right there. That's the axial bud that you're seeing that's risen, that little bump. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pot this guy up by himself in his own moss. And then we are going to put this guy back together with some new moss. All right, and it looks like the rest of this is all roots for this one, which is pretty incredible. It's very root bound, and we actually cannot cut that node off right there, because this node down here is a spent node. So if we were to cut this off, this albo would never be able to grow anymore. So let's go ahead and give him some base at the very bottom. See if I can't get you a little bit closer. Oh, I'm not gonna pack it too much because we want the roots to be able to spread out on their own. Usually repotting things when they get pretty root bound like that is like a good fix all to rooting being halted. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to air layer around this spot, because not only does air layering create a really stable root system for your plant, it also acts as kind of like a moss pole. It makes your plant feel like there's something there for it to hold on to and climb up and get bigger with. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some moss, we're gonna start wrapping it around the plant right here, and we're gonna make a little mountain just like this. And we're gonna totally encapsulate the top node over and under and all around. We want the moss to kind of like form like that. Usually that's all I do because I find the air layering works so easy that you don't really need to do anything extra. However, I really want this to stick. So what we're gonna do is I bought this saran wrap for very specifically this purpose. And we are going to saran wrap the heck out of this node right here. So I'm gonna start at the bottom first, and I'm gonna wrap it around there, and we're gonna wrap it around nice and heckin' tight. We want to encapsulate the humidity, and you should be prepared to change the saran wrap out multiple different times because you're gonna need to re-wet that moss right there. So that's pretty much it. That is literally as easy as it is. You're just gonna mash some heckin' saran or some moss around there. I don't even think we're gonna really need to, let's fold this one in half. I don't even think we're gonna even need to put some fishing line there. Yeah, I think we're good. So now what this is gonna do, I'm actually gonna tape that just a little bit. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna let it do its thing. Air layering happens pretty freaking fast, so you're not gonna really need to worry about it taking forever. I would say probably in 2 months you'll have like a pretty dang full root system there, but you're gonna need to keep changing it to make sure that you got good moss and it's all figured itself out. We're actually gonna go ahead and air layer quite a few more plants, because I've been needing to do this anyways, and they've been like partially air layered. So here's my Ilsamanii, and I've been like half-assedly air layering him. You can see he's got that big root, which has been actually climbing up the back of the terrarium. You have this one, which is currently digging into the soil. So all of that right there is a soft fuzzy root. We got this one, which is brand new, and all because I literally just, that's all I did. I just like wrapped some moss around it, but I'm gonna actually air layer this because I wanna take a ton of cuttings for my friends, and then, yeah, I wanna take some cuttings for my friends and then for trades. We're also gonna be air layering my gigas, who had a snail eat him a little bit, but it's fine. He's putting out a big new leaf. This guy's put out a ton of long roots along the sides here. You can see them, yeah, all of these, like a ton just from doing that. So I'm gonna air layer him. And then the last one we're gonna do is my Q2QNC. He really could stand an air layering, honestly. He's also giving us he's throwing hands, I don't know if you can see it, but that's gonna be pretty exciting. So we're gonna air layer these bad boys. What we're gonna do is just pack some moss. Again, I way prefer this to moss poles. I feel like moss poles are just messy. I just feel like moss poles are so messy and then flaky also as well. But when you do it like this, it pretty much will like never dry out, especially because these ones are gonna be in my terrarium. I'm going to heckin' saran wrap it. I feel like I make merch too often. I don't want you guys to like get burnt out on it, you know? I just think it's fun. Alrighty. And this is gonna go so fast too, especially now that this guy feels like he's got supported. But there's about 5 or 6 different roots in there that are, ooh. Oh my God, we're already getting another freaking new leaf. Oh my gosh, how exciting. I love the variegation on this plant too. It goes up there. Well, actually it was this one first, which was barely variegated. And then this one was like, wow. And then this one is like, heckin' wow. I'm gonna set this one aside because I'm actually gonna be watering that before it goes back in. Now let's do the gigas. This one has a ton of aerial roots happening. Freaking snails. I straight up found a snail in my terrarium the other day, which I never understood the struggle of that before. This is the tallest one we've done yet. I'm scared to squeeze it because I don't want it to. We have to work fast. We have to work fast. Okay. Go, 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 go. Aha, we caught it. We caught it in time. A lot of people air layer in different ways. I'm pretty sure on Amazon there's like some air layering cups, which you can buy that clip on around the stem in a little bubble. And then you can like do it like that. I think that that's super creative. Wow! Look at it, we did it. Probably would be better to get some reusable things since saran wrap is plastic and it is not reusable. Last one we're gonna do is the QTQNC. You definitely deserve this. I should have done this for you a long time ago. Really, 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 really long time ago. It is dangerous to go alone. Sir, please take this. Okay, please stay. Please stay, please stay. Time to get heckin' wrapped, bro. Saran wrapped. Ha ha ha. I guess it would have been a better pun if I was like, and that's a wrap. Saran wrap. Okay, sorry. This is so exciting. It looks trashy, but like, they're gonna grow so fast. Okay, and then what's gonna happen is they're gonna develop whole root systems in this. And then if you ever wanna cut them, it already has a root system. It's incredible. And if you don't wanna cut them, then all you're doing is making the plant into its own moss pole. Don't worry, I did not kill the snail. I designated him outside. Thank you so much for watching my little video on air layering. I hope it was helpful for you. I hope that you learned a thing or two about air layering and why it's important. And thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and tweet me at PlantMeAshley. Follow me on Instagram at PlantMeAshley. Let me know if you guys try this. You literally are gonna see results within the week if you do it. So I'm excited to see your guys' success stories with the air layering. I cannot believe I haven't been doing this the entire time. But since discovering it, I've been doing it to literally all my plants and they've just taken off. So yeah, thanks so much for watching and I'll see you guys in the next houseplant section. Goodbye.